Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the case on Intel and Virginia Mason Medical Center. This presentation is by Mashal Zahid, Louis Nastasi, Charlotte Dyer, Elizabeth Johnston, Trevor Wright, and Kevin Pugh. So, what is the issue? Many healthcare organizations across America, including Virginia Mason Medical Center in Seattle, are not being held to high-quality performance standards by their purchasers. Companies purchasing health plans for their employees pay for a low quality of care, which is often the greatest cost they incur. Companies should use their leverage as being reputable businesses to incentivize healthcare providers to up their game. At Virginia Mason Medical Center, the Chief of Medicine, Dr. Robert Mecklenburg, recognized that their healthcare organization was providing low-quality, expensive medical care to its clients. This realization occurred after Aetna threatened to exclude Virginia Mason Medical Center from its network. This wake-up call encouraged Dr. Mecklenburg to take a closer look at the wasteful components of the process by interviewing actual buyers of their healthcare. What they found changed the way the whole organization would provide care and pushed them to become more successful than they could have imagined. They used their knowledge gained through this project to create a marketplace collaborative model that would help other companies such as Intel to provide better services as well. In the next section, Louis will take a closer look at the goal of their analysis.
Although it sounds very cliché, the initial goal of analyzing the data was to improve care for patients and to reduce costs for employers who are purchasing healthcare. Virginia Mason Medical Center established the lean model to cut down on waste and focus on processes that provided value. Dr. Robert Mecklenburg, the Chief of Medicine at Virginia Mason, decided to collaborate with the insurance company Aetna and a major Seattle corporation, Starbucks, to find what areas of care could be improved. The major area of concern for Starbucks employees was uncomplicated back pain, and this launched an initiative to revamp how back pain was handled in order to cut down on cost and improve on quality of care. By using the lean model, Virginia Mason Medical Center was very successful. Once Virginia Mason established their marketplace collaborative model, they established the Center for Healthcare Solutions at Virginia Mason Medical Center. The goal of this organization was to provide strategic help to other healthcare providers as well as non-healthcare corporations, in this case Intel. In the next section, Charlotte will elaborate on the context of the problem.
Hi everyone, my name's Charlotte and I'll be presenting on the context of the problem for the Virginia Mason and Intel. So the Virginia Mason initiative started when Aetna, which is a company healthcare purchaser for big companies such as Starbucks, Costco, and Alaskan Airlines, wanted to remove Virginia Mason from their healthcare group. Aetna believed that Virginia Mason was a more expensive place to receive care when compared with other competitors. Upon hearing this, the medical director believed that they should be able to cut down on costs by applying the lean techniques. These lean techniques were first started by the Toyota Car Company, which is where they desired to streamline everything to make it more efficient, and they also solved micro problems so that every little second they could shave off increase their productivity level. So when the medical director met with the Starbucks employer benefits manager, they found out that one of the most common problems Starbucks employees were complaining of was back pain, and she explained to him how their back pain, it took a while for their back pain to get treated, which then meant they couldn't come back to work for a longer period of time and put them out of a already trained employee. So after several more meetings, the medical director found out that about 80% of the employees complaining of back pain were complaining of uncomplicated back pain, which is typically resolved through physical therapy. To figure out what was causing the problems and how patients went to seeing physical therapy, they created the value the value stream map, they had the creation of the value stream map. And then through that process, they were able to see how messy and complicated it took it was for a patient to receive the physical therapy, starting with their initial appointment with their primary care provider, and then getting x-rays or an MRI, which all increase the cost of their uncomplicated back pain. So then after figuring this out, he then decided to create a more streamlined, efficient process for those complaining of back pain. Once the diagnosis of uncomplicated back pain was made, they would have physical therapists come in and start their first appointment with the patient there. And then by the end of that appointment, the patient was already feeling better. So then they could go back to work at a much sooner rate than previously. And there was also a decreased amount in imaging costs and lab work and stuff like that. So this was seen as a huge success for Virginia Mason, and patients were very happy because they also got to see the physician on the same day that they called for an appointment. And then it helped Starbucks because their workers were getting back to work at a more efficient time than previously. So then when Intel found out about the Virginia Mason initiative, they wanted to collaborate with them so that they could implement this system in a brand new healthcare market and see how it really works. And so, yeah, they started doing, and then they even hired the medical director who initially provided these ideas to work with them.
Hi, this is Elizabeth, and I'm going to talk about some of the key factors to consider. So, Intel applied similar concepts to their healthcare using Virginia Mason as an example. Their goal was an absence of need for reactive care due to flawless performance on proactive care. After launching their new healthcare marketplace in December of 2009, they took a poll, and patient satisfaction on this new marketplace was at 97%. Same-day access was at 91%, and a rapid return to function of their employees was at 100%. 2 years later, in 2011, they took another poll, and patient satisfaction was up to 98%. Same-day access was also at 98%. They maintained a rapid return of function at 100%, and there was an apparent savings of 10 to 30% for patients who were participating in this healthcare marketplace. That was based on 6 months of claims. So in doing so with this new marketplace, Intel was able to eliminate huge amounts of waste in the process of treating lower back pain by eliminating expensive, unnecessary treatments like MRIs, while also getting people back to work at peak efficiency very quickly. Wait times were also reduced from 31 days to same-day access, which I think is pretty incredible. They were able to overcome a hierarchical structure of the medical industry and turn it into a collaborative team structure, benefiting not only their employees, but saving costs for the employer as well.
So some alternatives for decision making is to educate employers on selecting health plans, so giving them the knowledge to select a quality health plan that fits their needs, and adopting other company models. Plenty of companies have tried certain things that have failed or succeeded, and so using that as a tool to make decisions is great. Additionally, identifying weak areas and standardizing them. So Mecklenburg argues that health plans do not purchase care effectively or intelligently for their clients. So when employers are deciding what health plans to choose for their employees, it's important to be more educated about these options. Employers should approach health plans with a business mindset, comparing all plans to choose the high quality care. Mecklenburg believes that employers can define and measure quality with products and services, so why not use that approach to select a quality health plan? Now, an example in the chapter is that Intel took the lean approach to eliminate issues that constituted waste and delay and focus only on what value was added. So they were able to find issues early in the manufacture process of microchips. They also found that there was much human variability among the expert engineers and were able to achieve their ideal state of zero quality event in the lithography process. So what Intel did is they identified weak areas. Part of these were in the process of making these microchips, and they were able to identify problems early on. And additionally, they saw that there was discrepancy among the engineers And so they were able to standardize this whole process, and which led them to achieve their ideal state of zero quality event. And additionally, they can use this to identify common causes for doctor visits among their employees and discrepancies among healthcare plans and so on. And adopting other company models. So when assessing their health plans, Intel decided to replicate Virginia Mason's marketplace collaborative model of paying for value. What intrigued them the most was the company's engagement in healthcare providers directly rather than working through an insurer. So the Virginia Mason Marketplace Collaborative was able to eliminate expensive, unnecessary treatments such as MRIs. So Intel wanted to adopt this because cutting back on unnecessary costs would significantly improve their bottom line. So their approach was to take their already approach that they use for their equipment supplies and apply that to healthcare, promoting improved quality and reduced costs. For the Intel decision makers, it was best for them to adopt another company's model and apply it to their situation.
Although it may seem obvious, the number one recommendation I can make would be to build on the success that these organizations already have. The evidence of success mentioned earlier through patient satisfaction scores, same-day access, and return to function indicate the program provides tremendous benefits to the patients, employers, and healthcare organizations. Although a significant initial decrease in overall costs was demonstrated, the landscape of healthcare can dramatically change to outpace even the best managed programs. Therefore, it's crucial for these processes to be consistently reevaluated to ensure they are still achieving the goals they set out to reach. It's also been demonstrated that active, continued involvement from managers correlates with continued success of programs like these. I also think it's important for Intel, Virginia Mason, and all the other organizations involved to continue openly sharing their data with others. Time over time, we've discussed that openly admitting to failure and sharing results of success inspires others, particularly in healthcare, to work hard for improvement. This type of collaboration will be crucial in improving the quality of healthcare and lowering overall costs in the future. Finally, it's important to routinely bring new perspectives into the conversations being held about this type of change. While the chapter was mainly focused on what work the two executives at these organizations were doing, I wish more emphasis was placed on how others contributed to the process. Little information was given regarding how lower-ranking employees felt about the changes, or how they were being actively involved in creating them. While it's true that both executives have seen tremendous success with their pilot program, moving forward, I think it's important they emphasize the ideas that others, including physicians, nurses, and techs, may bring to the table. An example I found of this was when Dr. Tom Lorsch suggested removing physicians from the initial screen with physical therapists. Although leaders were initially apprehensive, I believe these changes, with some conditions like having a physician with ready access to the physical therapist, were made for the best. Suggestions like these from all levels of an organization will continue to drive improvements where they're needed most.
In conclusion, the project of turning around Virginia Mason Medical Center was so successful because Dr. Mecklenburg utilized the principles of Lean to improve their performance. Lean is an improvement model that focuses on eliminating wasteful steps and aims to include only value-added steps. Dr. Mecklenburg did this by inquiry. He wanted to know who his main patient population was and focused on the buyers of his health plans. In his interview with Annette King, he found that the main complaint of Starbucks workers was back pain. He then evaluated a patient presenting with back pain and looked at every step that the patient would go through to be treated. He discovered many wasteful steps, which added to the high cost of care for these patients. By eliminating needless MRIs and cutting down on wait time by seeing patients on the same day, they improved the process of back pain. He then created the Marketplace Collaborative to work with other companies and help improve treatment for other complaints as well. The case demonstrated a great example of how performance improvement methods can be used to create a successful organization and improve the lives of many. Thank you.